Hello and welcome to the It Is Written program. Today we are showing an It Is Written classic. It is entitled Butter and Honey. It features our dear friend, the late Pastor Henry Feierabend. It was shot in 1994, and I know you're going to get a thrill out of seeing Pastor Henry Feierabend once again. Now, let me take this opportunity to also wish each and every one of our viewers a very Merry Christmas from all of us at It Is Written Canada. May God continue to richly bless you throughout this new year, and may you experience true joy and happiness. Jesus said He wants us to live life and live it more abundantly, and that is our wish to you. Enjoy the program.
Silver bells, colored lights, Christmas carols, sumptuous dinners. Too many of us, these annual reminders of the Christmas season engender pleasant thoughts and memories. Christmas has a way of preempting prejudices, overshadowing the struggles of life. Even wars have been temporarily halted in honor of the occasion. But soon the season will be over, the lights will be turned out, the carols will be hushed, the prejudice is renewed. May the joy in our lives never burn out like the lights on a Christmas tree. It is written. This is Henry Feierabend, presenting as the answer to your deepest needs, the living Christ. Our subject today, butter and honey. Every year, down through the corridors of time comes the news that a child is born unto us. Bethlehem is the watershed of history. 2,000 years ago, God invaded this world in human form, lived, walked, and talked with human beings. The 7th chapter of the Old Testament book of Isaiah carries the good news. We read in Isaiah chapter 7 and verse 14, Therefore the Lord Himself shall give you a sign. Behold, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Verse 15 says, Butter and honey shall he eat, that he may know to refuse the evil and choose the good. Now, what does eating butter and honey have to do with knowing how to refuse evil and choose the good? Let's look at the context of this prophecy and pray that it will be the source of rich spiritual nourishment for us today. Isaiah 7 finds the kingdom of Judah in great imminent peril. There's danger all around. Everything looks dark and impossible. 2 monarchs have formed a league, and together they are threatening invasion. 2 neighboring nations have risen up to destroy the kingdom of Judah. Rumors of war are in the air. The people of Jerusalem look over the walls of their city, and they see the armies of Syria and Israel marching toward them. It's the intent of these armies to completely raze the walls of Jerusalem to the ground and utterly destroy the monarch of Judah. No wonder King Ahaz is troubled. He doesn't have the military power to confront those 2 nations. His only hope is to use strategy. And there is one strategic plan that has saved Jerusalem in the past. Her water supply is secure even during a blockade. An underground tunnel brings water into the city. I've gone through that tunnel, an amazing piece of engineering. The invading army will need water, and so Ahaz decides to cut the water from the upper pool and deprive the enemy soldiers of this much-needed water supply. As he goes to the pool, he meets Isaiah the prophet. And Isaiah has a message for him. Don't be afraid of those 2 firebrands. God will destroy both of those nations, and they will not harm Jerusalem. A very unlikely story indeed. The news is too good to be true. Ahaz looks at the prophet with a look of incredulity. How could that be? How could those 2 powerful monarchies possibly be destroyed? Will God send chariots from heaven to destroy them? Will God animate the very dust and make it fight Judah's enemies? Will He quicken every stone in Jerusalem and transform it into a soldier? Speaking through the prophet, God sees the littleness of Ahab's faith and says, I'll give you proof. Ask a sign, any sign you want. I want you to believe that what I'm saying is true. You can ask any sign in the depths or the heights above. Do you want the sun to go backward like it did in the time of Joshua? Or do you want the moon to stop in her midnight marches? Do you want the stars to fall from heaven in a blaze of shooting meteors? Let the heavens shower golden rain instead of the watery fluid they usually distill. Ask that the fleece be wet on the dry floor or dry in the midst of the dew. What a challenge. What would you ask for if God gave you that kind of a challenge? You and I could think of all kinds of things to ask for. To be a sign, it would have to be something unheard of or even impossible. We could ask for Niagara Falls to reverse its direction. We could ask for the snow to be hot when you touch it. Anything unusual enough to be a real sign. Because God is willing to make the impossible happen. And now Ahaz puts on a show of humility and says he doesn't need a sign. And Isaiah indignantly says to him, seeing you won't obey God and ask for a sign, the Lord will give you one anyway. Not a sign, but the sign, the wonder of the world, the mark of God's mightiest victory. A virgin shall conceive and bear a son, and shall call his name Emmanuel. Not all Bible commentators agree that this refers to Jesus, but the Christian can see clearly that it could refer to none other. His name is indelibly, legibly spelled out in this chapter. A virgin shall conceive. Here is the sign, something unheard of, impossible, miraculous. The sign God chose is a true sign. Let's examine three parts of this text. First of all, a virgin shall conceive. In the second part, butter and honey shall he eat. And thirdly, his name shall be called Emmanuel. Come with me to Bethlehem to see this wonder. Follow the shepherds, follow the star, follow the wise men. Stand with me in awe by the side of that manger. And what do we see? We see the beginning of the incarnation, when God first enveloped Himself in mortal form. We see Jesus Christ, the God-man, become an infant. Here is the miraculous conception. Of no other woman than Mary could it be said, a virgin shall conceive and bear a son. Of no other man could it be said that he was born of a virgin. Both the Greek and Hebrew word for virgin express the true virginity of the mother and show that Jesus was born of a woman. But some scholars say that the word doesn't have to mean virgin. It could simply mean a young woman. If that were the case, it wouldn't be a sign. Babies are born of young women every day. In fact, we are told that there are about 4 babies born every second around the clock. So what kind of a sign would it be if it referred to an ordinary young woman? Why, that would obliterate the whole significance of the prophecy. Would it be a sign for the rain to fall down as it usually does? Or for the snow to be cold? Here we're talking about a sign. Something unusual, something completely unheard of. Jesus was born of a virgin. As the second Adam, He maintained His integrity, never let it go. No sin, neither guile was found in His mouth. A child of a virgin, a mixture of the finite and infinite, the mortal and immortal, humanity and divinity, time married to eternity, God linked with the creature, the infinity of the august Maker come to tabernacle on this speck of earth. The vast, unbounded one whom earth could not hold and the heavens could not contain, lying in His mother's arms.